Donald Trump is putting the presidency up for sale, and Wall Street firms willing to pay $100,000 a month may get to cut the line. Let me explain this. Trump can announce a tariff. He can announce a sanction or a war, and it instantly moves financial markets. And now a company benefiting his family wants to sell traders earlier access to the announcements. Listen to this grift and corruption. Trump Media, which owns Truth Social, has unveiled something called the Truth API. And what it'll do is deliver posts from 10 influential Truth Social accounts, including potentially Donald Trump's, to banks and trading firms faster than ordinary users get them. And according to Reuters, the company is looking at charging $100,000 a month. If that seems steep, they've got a special offer. If you do a 3-year deal, they'll do it for 60 grand a month. Now, you might say, David, there's almost no one on Truth Social. It's such a stupid platform. Why would anyone pay more than $1 million a year to see Trump's posts a little bit early? Because for high frequency traders, milliseconds can mean millions of dollars, because these firms are using computers. Everything is computer, as Trump says. These firms are using computers to execute massive trades almost instantly. And so if their computers learn about a market moving announcement, even a fraction of a second before anybody else, they could buy or sell whatever is going to be affected before the price reflects everyone knowing that. Trump regularly announces real government policy on Truth Social. He'll post to Truth Social about tariff, sanctions, wars, and negotiations, and that's the first place we find out about it before everything else catches up. Go back to April of 25. Trump announced on Truth Social he would pause many of his tariffs for 90 days. Stocks immediately shot higher. If you had that information a little bit earlier, that's an insanely valuable trading advantage. So think about the arrangement Trump Media is creating here. Trump makes a decision as president that could move trillions through global markets. He announces the decision on Truth Social, and then a company benefiting Trump and his family collects as much as $100,000 a month from Wall Street firms that want to get that information first. Trump's remember, I put everything in trust. Yeah, but you know you own it, right? Trump's revocable trust owns 41% of Trump Media. His kids oversee the trust, and Trump is the beneficiary. So Trump, by being president, it's not just that he accesses valuable information. Trump can create valuable information. Trump's company sells speed advantages to that information, and then Trump and his family profit from his own decisions as president. Trump Media says they're going to launch this August 1st. It says we've got customers already. They haven't identified them, though. We need to know who is paying and understand that these customers could also be lobbying the administration. They could be seeking government contracts. They could be trying to influence relations. And that firm would be sending money to Trump's company while getting preferential access to presidential announcements. And the craziest part, I know many of you are probably thinking, has to be against the law, couldn't possibly be legal. Donald Sherman of Citizens for Responsibility and Ethics in Washington says, yes, it's unethical, but it may not violate any existing law, because insider trading laws involve material information not available to the public. And what Trump Media could claim is that this information is broadly available to anybody willing to pay. And if there are other federal conflict of interest restrictions, they don't fully apply to presidents. So this is one of those things where there was this moment where, when it came to explicit sexual images of children in New York State, we covered this like a decade ago, the way the law was written about downloading images, there was like some technicality where, like, if you only looked at them in a browser but you didn't download them, you didn't break the law. That was an example where the law didn't anticipate exactly what reality would turn out to be. And similarly, it seems as though what I'm describing to you today is wildly unethical. The law might not have anticipated that a president would turn his own policy announcements into a financial product to sell faster access to. So presidential decisions about war, tariffs, and the economy could be monetized. Now, all of that information should be public information. It shouldn't be sold as a saleable. There shouldn't be a fee that you can pay to have faster access to it. And remember that Trump promised to fight the corrupt financial elite and drain the swamp. And he is inviting that very elite to pay $100,000 a month for faster access to the presidency. We at some point have to make some decisions. And one of the decisions here is, do we want to focus on how this absolutely should be illegal and be outraged that it isn't? Or does the focus need to be to neuter Trump's presidency as quickly as possible? I'm not saying we ignore that, like, it might be nice to have some laws that prevent Trump from doing this, but when Republicans control everything, it's not going to happen. So I believe our focus has to be anything we can do to neuter Trump's power as president. And certainly taking at least the House, if not the House and Senate, and putting Trump and everybody under 2 years of oversight and investigations is something we can do. Let's work on the law stuff as well, but let's hamper and hamstring this presidency as much as we can and as quickly as possible.